It feels a lot like your soul is very peaceful. It's come here to experience a lot of peace. You're supposed to find peace even in the chaos. There are mirroring things in this life from that past life that you've come to heal with this person.
You're strong. You can even, pull yourself up without even having your feet touch anything.
I find that even in your current life right now, it's still important for you to use your voice.
What I'm getting is that you want a love that you can contribute to. You're asking for platinum, so you can't accept the copper when it shows up, even though it's pretty too.
You are being pushed outside your comfort zone to seek new heights.
And you are true to yourself and you're true to others around you as you live your authentic life. You are just you, and that is all you need to open up. We need you to speak your truth, Katrina.
All right, well, my name's Neyda, and
I'm Trina.
And we're just here recording our podcast. And if you have not yet heard our individual podcasts, I highly recommend that you go watch that first so that you can get a better idea of what is happening and what's being discussed here. And so my podcast, you can find it on Spotify, The Black Sheep Chronicles.
And mine is Intentional Tangents with Trina, which you can also find on Spotify and YouTube.
And so we're pretty much just, after speaking our own stories in our own podcast, now we're going to just get together and maybe compare and contrast on what we've learned about each other's stories and just get really down to the nitty gritty. And in order just to help everyone out there who is dealing with similar things, similar stories, or similar ways of manipulation and love bombing and things like that. And so this is all just for educational purposes. So if this is not your cup of tea, then you shouldn't be here. And there's no judgment here. We're all just learning, and that's all we can do.
Figuring the shit out as we go.
Exactly. So where do you want to start?
So yeah, I'll actually start where I feel like this kind of story reemerged into my life. It was, I don't know, how many days has it been since you reached out to me? Like a week?
Yeah, it's been like a week.
It's been about a week. I'm just over here living my best life, looking for an email from a payment from a client, and I swiped down and boom, Neyda Jimenez is in my inbox, y'all.
It's me.
My body burst into sweats. I was like, I was sitting right here, right in front of my fucking fish tank, because I'm a weirdo. I sit in front of my fish tank and watch the fish swim. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Why is she, oh Jesus, why is she reaching out?
Yeah, because my name comes with
Exactly.
Preston.
And I'm like, okay. So I read her message and she's like, hey, I just wanted to reach out to you. I don't know if you realize how big of a piece of shit he was, but this is what's happening in my life. And I want you to know that those emails that he was sending you were complete bullshit. They weren't from me. And, she just kind of wanted to get clarification so that she could get, past her situation. And I replied and I told her, this guy's not on my fucking radar. I can't remember what else I said, but we ended up hooking up. We went to the beach. We spent hours together. We had sushi. We compared stories. And at the end of the fucking day, I feel like both of us were in a state of just shock. Just like, what the fuck have we just invested? Only 2 years for me, by the grace of God. 5 years of your fucking life.
Almost 5 years in February, but it felt like more. But I just wanted to clarify too that I felt this pull to reach out to you because I felt he's going to reach out to her because he knows how much you loved him. Yeah. And he has to recycle. He has to go back to the people that really fell deep in love with him because he doesn't have anything to give. Yeah. And so I kept feeling like you need to let her know because she might like, even as a friend, she might take him as a friend and she cannot have him as anything. Yeah. And so I felt like I gotta and that's why my email was more like, I just want to make sure that you've noticed, like, because I don't know, I was looking at your TikToks and it looked like you were pretty much moved on, but I just really want to make sure that there was nothing in there for you because I knew what he would do with it.
And thank fucking God, because I would have been like, well, shit, who are you now? I would have given him the benefit of the doubt. I would have been like, oh, he's probably grown. We can be friends somehow. Mm-hmm. What's going on? And just, no. Yeah.
Because like you, I felt like we're both growing. Like he's called things out on me that I saw and I changed. And so I thought, oh, okay, he's going to see it. This is what we do for each other. We have to make each other see it because you won't take the advice from anybody. Right. It has to be from somebody that you really love and respect. Yeah. So Yeah. So you had said something after that, after we had talked. Oh, the realization of like how I completely felt raped.
Yeah.
I felt so raped because the man I laid next to all those nights and the man that I was falling deeper in love with and bonding with and growing with and going through these crazy experiences. Like we were sleeping in negative 20-degree weather in the Jeep. Like we were surviving, and it was like such a bonding time. And so to realize that I was bonding and doing all this with a fucking stranger, I felt completely raped of my time, raped of my money, my energy, my love. Like I gave that man deep love. And I know you did too. Like, and so it's like, God, like I could have done this with somebody else that was actually going to grow from it and change with me, and do things together. Cause, and I was listening to your podcast and you mentioned how, you thought like you both had to do this together and to teach the world. And that's exactly what I would tell him. I was like, I'm your divine femme. You're my divine mask. We're supposed to be the divine couple, and we're supposed to show the world, these motherfuckers, how you're supposed to love your person, and how you're supposed to grow together and teach each other. And so we talked about the podcast and like doing all this stuff. But it's like when you think back on all the conversations you had, and you thought you had something, and it's like, oh my God, I wasn't even talking to anybody. That was a shell of a man,
literally. And then the question we kept asking is like, what the fuck was his plan?
Yes.
Like, what was his plan? Like,
yes.
You keep pulling us together, and it got to the point where, he wants us to move in together. Did he think that we were not going to have a moment of like,
hey, what's up?
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
As soon as
when are you leaving?
And I want to say too, that I deeply fucking regret, like, when she came back and when you told me your story and like what you'd been through, I felt so fucking bad for not being more kind. Because when I sent her like this final email of fuckery, I was pissed the fuck off at him. I was done. I've got a lot of fire in my chart, y'all, and I was full fucking flaming. And I wrote this fucking email, and there was a lot of truth in it. But because I was being so nasty, and because he was already pitting us against each other, I just looked like a psycho bitch. And then she told me, when we were hanging out, like, she thought about my email and she was like, fuck, she warned me about this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I would have just been kinder. And then also, I wish that night that I came over, I just would have knocked on your fucking door and just had a conversation with you. Cause like, look, because when I've actually been going over the fucking emails, all those fake ass emails that I thought were you, where I thought we had this connection, where I thought you were trying to get it. He sent all these fucking emails, like acting like he was her and like, we're just friends and he really loves you, like advocating, using her to fucking advocate. Like
trying to get her back. Well, he was telling me that he was just gaslighting her to make her suffer, like make her think it was her fault that they broke up, so that she's forever like in pain and like agony and just crying. And I told him, I was like, that's not right. Yeah. Like, that's not cool. Like, you need to give her closure. Like, let her know the truth. Like, I was in the picture. We love each other. You need to tell her the truth so that she can process it and move on and whatever. Yeah.
That's a gracious thing. Like, if you're going to be a dick, tell somebody that you're a fucking dick so they can move on. Like, what's the whole need to hold on to them and keep them into your fucking orbit? But if you're a broke ass dude who don't have shit going for you, and you're going to need to, like you said, you're going to need to recycle bitches, and you're going to need let me try to reestablish this thing so that I can get you to pay my new legal bills that I have against this other bitch. Yeah. Because I'm over here racking up. Oh my God. Yeah. I wish I would have been kinder. I wish I would have like came to her directly. I wish I wouldn't have. And then also like, there's another part of me that's like, okay, another timeline would have been as soon as she popped up, that's a wrap. Yeah. There's no conversation. Yeah. When I drove up next to your fucking car and saw that another woman that he didn't fucking mention is driving his car, I should have been like, oh, this is a nothing ass nigga. Yeah. I'm sorry, I gotta stop saying the N-word. My daughter says I don't qualify because I'm mixed, but like, I'm a hood bitch, so it is what it is. Me. But like, that should have just been it. I should have just been like, oh, you know what? Just not even on my radar, not worth my time. But then I wouldn't be here telling these stories. And
exactly, same. Because I felt like when I found out about you and that you had his name tatted, I was like, okay, you can't lie about that. Like, a girl's not gonna get your name tatted for no reason. Like, you've been feeding her enough for her to feel safe enough to mark herself. Like, come on. And that's when I should have left. I should have just been like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, because I didn't have his name tatted then. Yeah. I should have just run away then. But, like you said, we wouldn't be talking about it right now. Yeah. But
hard lessons, y'all.
Yes. And all we can do is try to save the next one because it's out there and it happens.
And the way you feel on the tail end of this is so indescribable. Like I've been numb for the last couple of days and just like, and I'm removed for this situation. Like I'm done. I'm in love with somebody else. And I'm sitting here like, well, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Because it completely changes a chapter in your life that you thought was like this beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And now you just realize you got fucked in the ass with no Vaseline.
Yes. Really, though.
You really did.
And like you said in your podcast too, you were like, I used to hold this story in my life as something, like a beautiful thing that happened in a sick way. Yep. And I did too. And I was just like, you know what? At least you taught me so much. And I'm just so grateful. And I'm just, I'll love and whatever. And it's like, no, that was a fucking stranger. That was fake. That wasn't even real. Like the love I thought I felt wasn't even real. So what am I so grateful for? Like for the robbery that was made on me, like, no, thank you. Like, no, I could have done that with somebody else and I didn't have to do it the hard way. So yeah, and that's what gives me peace too. Like, oh, now I don't have to hold it, like you said, on a pedestal. Like, no, we're going to process it the way it is. The way it is. It is what it is. That's just the reality of it.
And that's a huge blessing that you gave me by coming into my life and like showing me, because you didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And like, I could have went the whole rest of my life thinking he was the template of a,
I know. And that's honestly kind of like what I wanted to fix for you too. Like, I didn't want you to have that and hold it so high. It doesn't deserve to be there, and that's another thing. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. We know who he is because, of that. And this all started with me trying to find Marissa because she's already in like 15,000 deep.
That's
and I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
And she's over there working, helping her family. So it's like, no, I need to reach Marissa, not knowing I was going to reach like 6 other people. And we're not even done yet, girl. Like, we're not even done yet. So,
and you know what else irritated me? I realized the other day that early on, I told him, you tell this to all the bitches, don't you? He was like, do you know how much drama that would be if I told every girl that I wanted to marry? And he literally was doing it.
You know what kills me though? Is like, how do you keep track on what you told who?
He just said the same thing to all of us.
But you didn't know about certain people. So it's like, how does he keep track? I was like, oh, does she know about Christine?
But he would fuck up sometimes. Sometimes he would tell me stuff. He'd be like, you don't remember me telling you that? And I'm like, no, bro, I kind of harp on your every fucking word. And you didn't tell me that. Really? You didn't, I'm like, oh, this nigga's getting conversations crossed. He's thinking he's had conversations with me that.
And I would call him out too. I would tell him, like, I know. I was like, no, I think you told Trina that.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't playing games. Like, and like you, like, I was trying to make sure he gave me my place because it's like, you can't love two. That's just, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would tell him, I was like, no, I think you had that conversation with Trina. Like, no, we didn't watch that together. Maybe you watched it with Trina.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to play stupid with me that long. Like, I'm going to throw in my little jabs too. Like, you're not, the thing that pisses me off is like, I told him, it's like from the beginning, I'm the girl version of you. And not now I don't think that, right? Yeah. But I can see him is what I was truly trying to say, or what I was feeling. I could see him. And so when he would try to like play his games, I would look at him like, who are you talking to? Yeah. And and like you said, you didn't know how much like spiritual gifts you had at that time either. And I felt the same. Although I did feel like I had some gifts. I'm not exactly sure what, but I just always felt like I can see through people. Since I was a kid, I can see right through them, and that I would treat you according to what I saw. And people couldn't stand that because it's the truth. But I would always tell him, I was like, I'm just a girl version of you. Like, I think like you, and now I realize it wasn't that I'm like him. It's like, I see him. But I would try to warn him, like, you can't play me for too long. Like, you can't keep playing your little games. I'm going to catch on. I see you. I see you. But he really didn't. He really, and that's like you said, like, where were you going with that?
Right.
Like, okay, you have all these women loving you. Now what?
Yeah.
Now what about your karma?
Yeah.
Like, what about being a good dude?
He was just in love with love. He was just in love with the way that we loved us, with the way that we loved him.
And that's what I felt like. He was collecting the love that he felt he didn't receive as a kid. He was just like, oh,
it's a bottomless pit though.
It is.
That many fucking women. Like, come on, is it really that serious?
I mean, how is not 2 enough? At least.
That's what I said. Man, there was a point when there was like, I was there and I knew I was there and I knew that she was in existence and he's still on fucking Tinder. I'm like, what the fuck? So if me and her are not enough, you're cycling. I used to imagine his door being like, those like glass.
Like
the turnstiles. You'd walk out, I'd walk in. Like it was this fucking joke of just bullshit. And I'm like, dude, if that's not enough, like we're never gonna be enough. Like,
And it makes me question his marriage. Like, was he really faithful?
No, he told me he wasn't.
For the whole time?
He told me he was not. He told me that he was married and had 20 girlfriends minimum, and that was getting email, or should I say her name? Sorry. She was getting emails from women, you know, and that she had gotten a bunch of emails from women. I can't really remember the details because like
during the whole marriage.
Yeah, not during the whole marriage, but during the marriage. You know, I don't know at what point. But yeah, like the way he made it sound like he did her was just so fucked up. He said really fucked up stuff to her, would throw her trauma or childhood or stuff that she had been through in her face. Just like he would literally say, I destroyed that woman. You know, and his like weird little like, you know, with the chew in his mouth and shit. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'm right here. You do not listening to everything you're fucking saying, right? Because this is very, you know, and in the end, that's why when I finally got to meet her, you know, he was like, well, I want you to look really good and get your hair like this. And I'm like, okay. Right, went home, did my makeup shitty, overdid the black, like just made it look really fucking bad. And then when I got there, she pulled up and the way she looked at me was so like, what am I walking into? Like so apprehensive, you know? And I turned and I just smiled and I was like, hey, you know, and I got out of the car and then the little one, I can't remember their names. I'm a terrible human. It's been a while, right? That's so cute because I'm dating.
No.
He was like, you know, he was grouchy or whatever. And I was like, come on, you remember me? And he smiles and then he jumps in my arms. And she sent me a text. She was like, thank you so much for making me feel safe, you know, giving my babies up and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm just happy to have, you know, what little part I have. And like, so fuck all that. You're not going to weaponize me against another woman. I didn't tell him that.
I know.
I didn't tell him that I was like that, but fuck you. You're not going to sit and like put me in the middle of this shit. This dick and pussy shit. I don't know both sides of the story. I'm not going to participate in that, you know? So yeah.
Yeah. Same when he was asking me to post certain pictures so that you would see him because you were supposedly like watching. Like,
so obsessed.
Yeah. So he's like, post that, you know, post that. And I was like, you know what? I don't do that.
This is my social
because I know he did that with you. Like, I think you had mentioned that in one of your emails. Like, he told me to post it because he wanted you to see it. Yeah. So it's like, you know, I'm not playing those games. Like, how are you going to keep doing the same thing to both of us? Like, I was thinking too, like, even the same poses at Mammoth he was making us do. Yeah. Like, that's what makes me feel like, God, that man is sick.
They had a photo shoot, this beautiful photo shoot in lingerie and stuff in the video. And he had asked me, he said he wanted to do that with me. He's like, I want to do a photo shoot with you with black and white lingerie. So when you reached out to me and I saw that, I just went the fuck off on this guy. We were driving up the mountain. And I was like, what the fuck? How would you fucking feel if I told you I wanted to fucking pitch? Like, I was so mad. I was so mad. You're sitting there and just a little fidgeting and shit. God. Like, oh, I was so angry. I can't believe I stuck around so much for that, guys. But again, here's the thing that I want to acknowledge. It's so easy to sit here and talk about all the shitty stuff because that's obviously what's forefront of our mind. But we're not talking about the tender moments and the butterfingers he bought and the nurturing of the inner child and there was a lot of tenderness and the readings. I didn't realize like that third fucking date when I came in, he literally did a reading on me. I didn't realize that. You know, he was like, this is your situation. This is how it's going to feel. And he called what he said was going to happen was already happening. And I was like, oh my, and you just feel so seen. But if you book any fucking psychic, they're going to do the same fucking thing. So he's literally
What if he was watching like the tarot readings online and just got it like...
Could have been. It could have been.
Like, okay, I'm going to just throw this at her. Because he's so smart. Like, he knows how to like dig information and like find a way to like put it in there. I don't know. Yeah. I honestly, when you mentioned that you thought he was psychic, I don't know. Like my friend said maybe yes, but it's used for evil.
I think so.
But
because we have our
why would he
will.
be gifted something? He's such a nasty person. But
free will. Yeah. You know, we all have esoteric gifts. It's up to us to choose how we're going to use those. You know what I mean? You can choose to do black magic. You can choose to go out and murder somebody right fucking now. There's nothing stopping you. You have 2 arms, a knife, you can kill somebody, right? He's choosing to not heal. And I just feel like weaponizing spirituality, like the whole psychedelics thing, you know, he was so insistent about that. And we got to a point in our relationship where, because he was being shady to me when we would do it, like he'd get all like in his whatever. And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking want to do this. This sucks, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, look, I don't think I want to keep doing, you know, I don't mind if you do it, but like, I don't want to do it. And he's like, well, that's a big part of like the relationship I want with you. And it's because it establishes that connection. You feel that like, I don't give a fuck, y'all. If you do psychedelics, you're going to feel God. You're going to see God. And if you're around somebody and you're having sex with them and they're inside you while all this is happening, it's gonna fucking change you. You're gonna feel, and you've never experienced this with anyone else. Nobody else is out there doing this. Like, come on. It's dangerous. I get why I stayed, and I get that, like, I did it to a certain point consciously, but I wasn't as conscious as I thought I was.
Yeah.
I wasn't as up on game as I thought I was. I was not truly seeing what was. And if I would have known, like, yeah.
But you know what, like you mentioned on your podcast too, that there was a time when you guys were doing the drugs and he was really like an asshole.
Yeah.
I experienced that once. And that's when I should have left too, because I even called my best friend the next morning crying. And I was like, Vanessa, I think I saw the real him today. And I was like, everything that, the way he was talking to me, the way he was like, the things he was telling me, I don't know for sure exactly what it was, but I'm like, I even said, like, I said his full name and I said his full name and I was like, what are you doing to me right now? I was like, you're mind fucking me. What are you doing? Like, why are you doing that to me? I felt like I turned into a little girl who just saw the monster inside.
Damn.
And I swear to you, I cried my way down the mountain because I was like, oh my God, he's not real.
Damn.
And I thought about that when you were talking about I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that morning. And it was in the morning too, when he was just a total asshole. I don't know if you've ever seen his Navy picture.
Mm-hmm.
He has the evilest look in his eyes. And that's what comes out. Like the veil, or like his true self comes out when he does drugs or something at the end. I don't know what it is. His ego is showing. I don't know, but I saw him that morning and I should have fucking said, all right, I saw you. Yeah. You showed me. Oopsie. Because like you, I also felt like, you know what? I'm going to start doing drugs by myself.
Yeah. Literally.
You are taking over my whole experience. Like, I'm not trying to just sit there and have sex all day. Like, I'm trying to like really heal, idiot. Yeah. So yeah, like he was really weaponizing it and trying to use it. And I'm like, I don't want to stay up and talk shit all day. Like, I really want to like use this as like a holy experience, you know? Yep. But yeah, I remembered that and I was like, damn, I was supposed to leave. My bad.
Yep. And then all the magic, he has to do all those extra rituals because the love isn't authentic. Yeah. Nothing inauthentic can last. Yeah. You know what I mean? Only real things go the duration. And so he had to do that extra.
Yeah. And you know what? Before finding out all this kind of worms, like I really thought that he was a good guy and he was doing well, because when we were on the road, Trina, he was saying all the right things. Like he would acknowledge that he was being a narcissist at times. And he would say, I saw that. It was wrong with me. I don't even think like that anymore. Mm-hmm. When he was talking about like, you're with me, I'm not with you. He's like, that's wrong. That's not even the foundation I want us on anymore. So we were talking about creating a new foundation. So I had thought when he left, I was like, oh, he went the wrong way. He had a choice. He was doing good. And he had an option. And he decided to run away. He no longer wanted to keep trying to change and be better. He just, never mind. I'll just go back to my ways of getting women to take care of me or to just validate me and give me the love I think I need instead of loving myself. And so up until I found out that he's been telling the same exact story to everybody, that's when I was like, no, I think his life here is just to do this to women. Like he is here to wake us up and we choose how long we take the lesson. Yep. Because I just can't see that that's why, because he was talking to other girls while we were on the road. He was talking to Yesenia while we were on the road. She thought he was on the road by himself in his Jeep. Mm-mm. And I'm like, bitch, if you only knew, the man couldn't even use tools. Right. I built the rack for our Jeep so we can survive and live comfortably. I was always on top of the building of the shit. I was more of the man. Like he wouldn't have survived on the road without me. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Like literally would have not survived on the road without me. I was doing all the work. Like he did the construction work for a little bit and then was a little bitch and couldn't do it because it was too much. Or he felt too much like a bitch because he didn't know how to use tools. And the guys were probably looking at him and being like, what the fuck, bro? It's a fucking power tool. Like, you don't know how to use one? A hammer? My dad was laughing at the motherfucker when he was helping him build the shack because he couldn't hit the nail right. You know how embarrassing it is? Because my dad always told me.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but damn. No. You got to understand how this man portrays himself. Ultra alpha, I'm the fucking big kahuna. We're going to build a house from the ground. Now I realize if we'd have been out there,
you would have built
that house by my motherfucking
Me,
self.
you would have built it.
Literally.
Changing the oil and shit to the tractor.
For real.
You know? It's just, it is what it is. Like, and you know what's funny is like, I think that's when when he started to reach out to Yesenia, because he's like, oh shit, like Neyda's really seeing me. Because I was seeing everything on the road. He couldn't hide from me. Mm-hmm. When he was throwing his little bitch ass tantrums, I was like, ew, gross. What are you, 5, bro? So I was seeing everything, and he knew it. And so when we got back, and he was like trying to make these plans, and he was like trying to get back on the road, he was going to have Marissa buy a truck and a trailer, a fifth wheel, and he was going to go on the road. And he's like, well, I guess I got to take you with me. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm not going back on the road. I need to stay here with my kid. I need to work on my relationship with my kid. And that's when I think it really switched. Like, oh shit, she's no longer following me.
Yep.
Oh my God. Oh, all right. Finding options. And so he got back on his shit. And I'm pretty sure he was talking to Christine. He was talking to Marissa. He was talking to Yesenia. So it's like, oh shit, he got back.
So wait,
recycled.
so he's still talking to the chick who cut my tires?
Yes.
Oh my God.
He brought her up
hilarious.
when we got back to my mom's house, because we were living at my mom's for almost a year.
Yeah.
Look, so
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a grown ass man with a fucking advanced education
Masters.
and military fucking experience. He could get a job making a minimum $150 any fucking day of the week, and instead he's sleeping at your mama's house.
Yep. And so,
oh my God.
yeah, I could tell. Oh yeah, he had mentioned Christine once, and I was like, wait, the girl that slashed the tires? He's just like, yeah, she reached out. She didn't reach out. He reached out to her. I'm positive. So he's like, yeah, she reached out, but I was like, no, like I'm not going back to that. And like, no, we're not doing that again. I'm sure they're talking. I'm sure he's like, what's up? I'm sure she's
because how can he reach out? He changed his phone number, changed his fucking email address. He cut off everything. He told me he did everything that he told me he was going to do while we were together after we broke up, and then he reached out to me to harass me. And then after I'm like, dude, leave me the fuck alone, he changes the fucking number and deletes the thing. I was looking at, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, just like with me, when I emailed him, like, I see you, motherfucker. I see you. I see who you are. You son of a fucking bitch. I went off on him. And after that email, when I told him, I was like, you know what? And we're good. Because I did a cord cutting. Cord cutting.
Mm-hmm.
I did cord cutting. And I said, so we're good. I was like, I'm not going to email you anymore after this. This is my last email to you. And after that, boom, 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 I got hit with 4 dumbass emails from his lawyer saying, you are being asked to cease and desist. You are messing with my case and all this dumb shit. And I'm just like,
was it really his lawyer?
No.
Because I found out
he doesn't have a lawyer.
That's what I was saying.
He did it to you, and I saw how he did it to you. So I was
I've been to restraining order court, so I was like, this silly fucking guy. Because literally, I walk into court and I'm like, this is the initial email he sent. Timestamp, it's right fucking there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all that bullshit. Like he fucking reached out to me, so I'm like, bruh.
Yeah. And so that's why I was like, oh, you're a joke. I really was like, oh, I see you. Like you. What are you thinking? You did that when I was with you. I saw you do it to someone else. How do you expect me to believe your bullshit?
Right.
And so again, that was just his way of like, I don't know, lashing out so that it's like, it's my last say. So like, no, it's done when I say it's done. And it's like, oh my God, you're so fucking pathetic. I'm laughing at you, bro. Like I'm laughing. Like,
oh my God.
How can I take you serious? But yeah. And I wanted to clarify too, like you had said on your podcast that he had told you that I had saved him from a gun to his head.
Yep.
Never happened.
That he put a gun to his head.
Never
and
happened.
You pulled it from him, and like that you had saved him, and like this whole story. That's why at the end, you guys, I was like, well, look, he did the honor bound thing. Like she was there for you. He told me when we were in Mammoth after the whole situation where I was like, you need to call her. He was like, yeah, she like saved my life and blah, 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 blah. And I promised her I would never leave her hanging. And I'm like, well then, and I literally said, I was like, I'm going to say this and it likely will be to our detriment. But if that's what you told that woman, that's what the fuck you need to do. And so when everything panned out the way it was, I was like, okay, well, shit, they must have had a soul contract that extended beyond ours because I'm fucking gone.
Yeah.
I'm all the way done with this bullshit. And, I still had that false sense of he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's just being there for the girl that was there for him. He can't leave her. Like, fuck, that's his person. Like, shit, I get it. I wouldn't want to leave her too. She sounds like a good dude. Like, but I ain't dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And then, what else was I like? What? I did not. What are you talking about? Well, the whole home birth thing, I was like, you motherfucker, like
The what?
the home birth, like having the home birth.
Oh yeah.
Like I talked to him too, like you're gonna deliver the baby, you're gonna grab it, like all that shit. I was just like, oh my God, like it's just sickening
like
how
he's
detailed.
specifically manifesting a specific type of woman who wants a specific sort of experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because literally when we hung out, when I showed her my dream house guy, she's like, "That's mine."
I literally,
That's my
it might
dream
be the
house.
same fucking
Like,
picture,
it's
Trina.
probably the same
I'm
yes. We're like the same person. Like, she's a bad bitch. She gets shit done. You know what I'm saying? She's handling her shit. When he came into your life, your shit was together.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I had a job, a good paying job. I had my Jeep,
Yep.
and I was getting ready to find a place up here, but it was a little difficult during that time. But I was like, I was doing things. I was manifesting shit.
Yep.
Like, I was loving like what I was learning and how I felt about things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah. And with him, he would feel like, oh, my TikToks were too goofy, or he didn't like the transitions of no makeup with makeup. And it's like, well, who's embarrassed? Are you embarrassed? I'm not embarrassed. I'm okay. I think I look okay with no makeup too.
Right.
I prefer it actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell him that too. I was like, I prefer no makeup. I'm going to eventually have facials and I'm not going to wear shit. Like, it's going to be this.
And he also tried to get me to get a nose job and my boobs done also.
Yeah.
I mean, I did come wanting to get my boobs done, but yeah.
Well, I definitely was
So,
going to do it, but
yeah.
he kind of like, it's like not pushed it, but brought it back up. And I was like, oh yeah, let me go get into that, because I figured I get the titties, I get more time.
Yeah.
Dummy. Here I am thinking like, he just doesn't know who I
Bump
am.
me up the roster.
He just doesn't know who I am. I'm like, he doesn't know like all the cool stuff. And on top of that, she has titties. Yes.
Right.
So yeah, I manifested that shit. I didn't have a job then. I was still just a student. And so I was like, I'm going to go get the titties today. And I signed up for the fucking credit, whatever. And I got it before I got back into the Jeep.
Damn,
and I had it
girl.
scheduled. And the same thing with the Jeep. I was manifesting that. I didn't have a job, but I was like, I'm going to go get my fucking Jeep from that vending machine. I sure did.
Damn.
Yeah, Carvana. But
It was a vending machine.
It was a vending machine. It was such a cool experience. Like, I bought my own car for the first time, and I manifested it. I thought, because I was like, I don't even have a job. Like, how do these idiots give me a fucking Jeep?
Right, literally.
I don't know, but I was just thinking, I'm just a witch, bitch. So, but yeah, like before him, I was already like shining and I was doing shit, and so he really dimmed my light, and that's what it felt like. He was really dimming me down, and towards the end, I was calling out things. I was like, no, that's not it. And I felt like I was, like you said, I surpassed him. Yeah. He was stuck in negative. He was stuck in a bad energy, and I would always try to bring him back to the light. And then like 2 days later, he would say the exact same thing I said, and I'm just like, I told you that 2 days ago. Like, what the fuck? Give me credit. Like, you're not wise. Like, get down. But yeah, like, it's like, that's what he does. Like, if he feels like you're shining too bright, he'll bring you down. Like, so yeah, he would give you love, but if it was too much, if you felt like you were too good looking, he would go on my shit and comment to bring my light down. Because I was loving Montana. I was so in love with him in Montana. And so I was posting all these happy TikToks and feeling good, and he was commenting to bring down my light. Like, bitch, you're too high in the cloud. Let me bring you down. So yeah, he would comment some nasty things about like how I was cleaning houses and stuff, and I'm like, how does Trina know I'm cleaning houses?
Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea.
So yeah, trust me, like the 10% or the 20 at that time was like, it's like he wants you to think someone wants him. Nobody wants him. Because you know what that did to me? Like I said to you before, when he would mention you or mention anything, it would be just to up my game. Like, you want to bring up that she brought you food or whatever. It's like, oh, well, then I'm going to bring you a fucking plate, like a platter. Like, I'm going to bring you the whole feast, motherfucker. But yeah, like, I feel like he did that just to get us to up our game. Like, to get, like, oh, I'll do better. Yeah. I'll do better.
That shit kind of went the opposite way with me. Yeah. I started not doing shit. I started being a bitch. It's like, oh, I remember one time for his birthday, he was like, do you know where to get a cake?
He already had asked me to make it, stupid.
I can't remember the argument, but there was definitely you involved. Like, oh, did you already, or I can't remember. I don't even want to like bring up what it was, but definitely I pointed out the fact, because I had looked at your social media and saw that you made him that gorgeous Doors cake or whatever. And I'm like, why don't you, I don't know. I can't remember what I said, but I was definitely shitty about it. I remember being in the car, and I remember that drive. And that was also the conversation where I brought up you're also wanting me to take pictures with you that you've already taken with her. Like, what the fuck? You're just like recycling experiences. You know, how would that make you feel? Me sitting here thinking he could feel, right? Like,
that's the problem.
He has any sense of fucking empathy. Oh my God, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It was bullshit. And then when we went for her little birthday thing, that's when I told you, like, that, you know, his kid's mom reached out and she didn't even want to give him more time. And then she hits me up directly and is like, you guys need some more time. Because it was like, she didn't really want to be shitty, but he was such a fucking asshole that it's like she couldn't help herself. Yes. So she also wanted her kid to have, you know, it was like she was stuck in this like weird.
And I get it now. I didn't get it then, but
either.
Oh God, I so see it now. And I reached out to her and I emailed her and I apologized. I was like, you know what? That coward's never going to apologize to you. So I will.
Damn.
I will apologize. I was like, you don't deserve that. You didn't deserve to be put in that emotional state and all the shit. I can't imagine what he told you and how he treated you. I was like, and you did not deserve that. So I did apologize to her because it's like, you know, you wanted to like feel sorry for him. And that's the thing too. Like he would give you all these sad stories so that you would be on his side and be like, that bitch. Or like, you know, the sad stories about his upbringing. Like they stole him from his childhood and all this stuff and how it was so miserable. And like, yeah, I get it, you know. But grow from it.
I remember having that conversation with him. I was like, you know, you planned that though, right? Now I'm throwing back the concepts that he's taught me.
Exactly.
He's just looking at me like,
exactly.
Like, you know, you planned that so you can be stronger now. You know, you would not be the bad motherfucker that you are, which he was not, but I thought he was at the time, had you not had that upbringing. You know, so I'm trying to like get him to, oh my God.
He would say it too though. So that's when I would get so annoyed because he would always contradict himself. He would always be like, no, but I wouldn't be the person I am today. And it made me tough, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, he's like, no, well, yeah, shitty upbringing. They robbed me from my childhood. And I'm just like, so what is it? What is it? Just like with the whole kids situation. Like he's like, you know, oh, my kids are dead. Like I have to bury my kids because they're taking them away from me and all that stuff. And I'm just like, no. Because you did nothing wrong. And so therefore you just got to like trust the process. It's going to come out and it's going to be all right. And even when he did get like the kids back and he had to go to therapy, he didn't want to. He wanted to fight. He wanted to still fight. He was told to go to therapy with the kids to rebuild their relationship. He's like, no, I'm going to take her to court. She should have never done that to me. And I'm like,
first of all, you can't afford that. Second of all, is that in the best interest of the kids? But it doesn't matter. Like you said, the show is really just about him.
Yeah.
He needs something to bitch about.
Exactly. You know? He wants to be the victim. As much as he was bitching to everybody about not being, you know, being the victim and learning and just being better or whatever. He's like, he's the number one offender of everything he was preaching about.
Yeah. No one's going to take care of you if you don't have those sad stories because you're an able-bodied fucking man with a graduate degree.
Yeah.
There's really no reason you should be broke.
Yeah.
But he told me, he was like, that he left his job. Well, not just because of this, but he was like, if I work and make this, then she gets $60,000 and fuck that. She doesn't deserve that. Well, she kind of fucking does. Like, y'all had the agreement. She was a stay-at-home mom. Like, why are you acting brand new here? And why can't you just pay for your freedom? And I was robbed of my childhood too, guys. So you know what I did? Now I play outside every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Now I do fun shit all the time. Yeah. Now I've created a life where I can catch up on that on the back end. And I'm not mad at my parents anymore. They did what they had to do. Like, you don't get a badge for running around and being a victim to your fucking story, especially when you're in such a state of empowerment. You're a white man. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful with a degree, tons of education. Like, he could literally be on TikTok chopping fucking wood, making money. That's it. You don't got to do nothing else.
He thought he would talk so much shit about that guy.
He would. I'm sure he fucking would.
I showed him. I was like, look, you can do that. He was like, Jesus.
After I left him, because, you know, I thought like the sun shone out of his ass, I discovered TikTok. And I swear to God, my guides and angels filled my feed with buff motherfuckers doing manly action. I was like, there's so many. Like, oh my God. Like, it helped me to be like, you know, that's not the only shiny fucking thing out there. There's plenty of other people that are less shitty potentially, you know.
And not as boring. Because now looking back at it, I'm like, bro never did shit.
He really did.
He stayed in his cabin, smoked, and he would go to the gym and come back and eat. And that's all he fucking did.
That's literally
That's all he did.
Winter, there was snowboarding added to that, and that was it.
Yeah. Literally. But I would always be like, can we go for a walk? Can we go for a hike? Yeah. Like, I really want to start exploring. Me. Yeah. No, he didn't tell me that. He didn't tell me it didn't interest him. He just thought, like, it's not like my biggest thing. He's like, but I'll do it with you. And I'm like, cool, because I like to do that. Like, I really do. And I was just like, God, looking back, I'm like, didn't do shit. And that's another thing too, that towards the end I was already like, fuck you stay in the room, I'm gonna go out there and just get busy, cook and just do something, because I was so tired of just being there sitting doing nothing. And I'm like, but he wasn't doing nothing, he was really busy searching. searching for options.
Yeah, as soon as you're asleep, he's on the phone. As soon as you walk into the bathroom, he's on the phone. When he goes into the bathroom, he's on the phone. It was so weird. So like, again, I didn't realize how psychic I was, but I would like, we'd be in bed and I'd go up to grab, you know, whatever, something from the kitchen or go to the bathroom. And I swear to God, you guys, as soon as I passed the door, I could feel it. I could feel him, you know, and then I come back and he would still be on the phone. He'd put it back before I got next to him enough to see. You know, but he's always keeping his fucking options open. Don't for a fucking second think that you're the only one.
You know, now that you say that, I got the image of us being on acid and him just flipping on Tinder. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I said, when he did drugs, it's almost like his ego would like come out, or like the nastiness of him would always be like, just like, this is what I do. Like, just like energizing himself or like fueling it up. I don't know. But I was like, that's such a turnoff. Like, I'm over here having a spiritual experience and you're over here on Tinder. Right. Like, okay. Yeah. So again, I should have seen those things and been like, okay, never mind. This is not it. This is not my cup of tea. But it was so connecting. It was so.
That pull is real, y'all. It's fucking.
So don't
real.
do drugs with someone that you don't know. No.
Don't do drugs with somebody that you don't know. Oh my God. And be aware, like I was talking about on my fucking TikTok, like we've all had past lives. We've all had past lives with each other. We're not new to each other. And I feel like this actually empowered me. So as I moved forward, I dated somebody for, I don't know, we'll say 6 to 8 months, because I couldn't really let go. I was struggling letting go. So when I finally let go, I ended up engaging with this other guy, and we just had this connection that was like out of nowhere. And I'm like, I've wised up, guys. We're not just, you know, whatever. I book a reading, get a reading with V, find out that we had a past life connection where basically this guy had overpowered me in a past life. We were married. And he wasn't mean-spirited, but he just was upset because he worked a lot. And so he'd always be like, what are you doing with the boys? What are you doing with this? What are you doing? And I felt like he was like micromanaging me, and it sucked. And so when I went out to hang out with him, that exact dynamic showed up again. Like, you can get past life readings and find out why things are the way they are with people. I didn't know that. But after this relationship, and I found out like, oh, okay, we had this whole despair thing, this whole, not unrequited love, but like, I don't know, we were just ripped apart, you know, thing that was coming in. And that was the only fucking thing that was keeping me there. That energy, it wasn't about who he really was in this life. It was just that part of my soul needed to heal that part of the thing with him. And I think we need to be careful about that. And like, use mediums. I have gotten so many fucking readings. It's not even funny. And I have gotten so many level ups because of them, and have just really been like empowered with a real understanding of like, what's going on in this universe, like what this dance is that we're doing with one another. You know what I'm saying? And like,
because the more you understand that, the more you accept it and not feel that heaviness
to it. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, you can totally accept it and like healthy move on and not have to hold on to anything else. It's like, it's processed. So I love that. I love having the mediums confirm and validate what we were feeling sometimes. It's so awesome to be validated when you don't know for sure.
Yeah, and like I was telling her when we were hanging out, like once Glacia told me that you were like my ally, like I just walked around like every white Jeep. I used to despise white Jeeps, guys. I'd be driving because we live in them fucking mountains. There's 2 lanes, right? You're gonna see a motherfucker. There's no way to not see when someone is coming and going if you're on the road at the same time. And I fucking hated white Jeeps. And after that reading, though, I was like, Audis. Oh my God, right? Right? Just like, fuck.
And I was always looking for you when I was going down. I'm like, oh, I hope I don't see this bitch.
Right. Literally. Oh my God. Yep. I was like, nope, white Jeeps are my fucking friend. Melissa's are my friend. Even though like on the 3D level, I was like, she stole my future. Like You're my welcome. Daughter. Yeah, literally. Oh my God. And when we got together, she was like, you were so lucky. Like,
I would sit at night sometimes on the really bad nights where he was just a fucking child. And I would just be like, Trina, you are fucking welcome. Yeah. Like, I swear to God, I would always be like, Trina, you're welcome. Trust me, girl, you don't want to be here. You wouldn't be here. You probably wouldn't be here. I feel like you were in a sense more demanding of
I definitely
of him.
Was,
and I was thinking that giving him the time to see it himself is healthier than me trying to keep on telling him like, no, that's not right. No, that's not right. Because I was like,
but I was doing that too. But I did just demand a little bit more upfront. And I think it's just because I'm old, and I've had experiences with narcissists before, so I was kind of like, really specifically liars. Mike's husband was like a fucking compulsive liar. So yeah.
Well, I feel like he's the same pathological liar, like always.
And he believes that shit. I do believe that he believes some of the stuff that he says. Like, maybe, I don't know. You have to, right? You have to be that good at it. That's the logic that I come up with. I'm like,
it's almost like you put the cover on yourself first to be like, all right, let's go. Like, or you put the mask on, like you're wearing it, you have to own it. Like,
now let me sell this to this bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, and like I said, like the whole about making you feel sorry and then telling you not to lean on him for any emotional support. Like that was huge with him. Like, I'm going through this. I can't deal with that right now. Like if it had to do anything with our relationship, it's like, don't lean on me. Don't expect anything from me. Don't. His thing was huge with don't lean on me. So that's another thing too, that just to look out for, for everybody. It's like,
that's not a partnership.
Yeah. If they're not emotionally there for you, especially when you've been there for them during their cry outs of all this crap that they're going through, and you come to them with something and they're just like, man, don't lean on me. Like, I can't deal with it right now. Like I'm dealing with too much. It's like, oh, let me just take my troubles to who? You've isolated me from everyone.
That's a big thing too.
You've left me, you've left me with just you. Yep. And I'm not even blaming him completely to like where my communication with my brothers or anything like that. Like, no, I feel like that had to happen because you can't really change around the people that are going to keep looking at you with the eyes and looking at you as the person that you were. Yeah. Because I can feel that energy and I can feel like they're sending me messages of like, you're supposed to be a bitch. Oh, you're going to yell right now. Like, I swear I could feel like they're sending me those vibes because they think they know me. And so I know for a fact that I wasn't supposed to be around the people that I had to separate from, but he was doing it for different reasons. Right. And I was doing it I felt like it was healthier for me to be able to change without having to have eyes on me from everyone expecting me to be the same. Because that's so hard. That's what I'm dealing with now, I think. So, but yeah, I could totally see how he was doing that. He was trying to get me against my daughter towards the end. And I kept saying, nope. Because I was seeing him then. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to tell her. Like, no, you're stupid. Like, you foolish shit. But yeah, so that's huge. Getting you isolated, no friends. Because if you go out with your friends, you're going to go flirt and you're going to go cheat or whatever. So don't even think about girl trips because that's not happening. That's not allowed. So yeah. And then I think too, like he would use his spiritual team to confirm things. Like, when he would make stupid decisions that didn't make sense to me because it was more for his benefit. He's like, I've already cleared it with my spiritual team. Like they said it's okay to move forward doing this. And I'm just like, okay. But inside I felt like, okay, you're funny. Like I see what you're doing here, bro. Like you're over here just trying to get back on Tinder and tell me that the spiritual team is telling you to get out there. Like someone's out there that you need. Like it would be so fucking corny. Yeah. Did he ever talk to you about feeling like he's Jesus?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe he thought I was stupider in certain.
But, to be fair, I smoke a lot of weed, and I'm a Sagittarius. You guys, once I let some shit go, I don't hold on to it. You know what I mean? So it kind of like a lot of it, and I'm further removed from my relationship with him than you. So it's possible. I do remember him joking about starting a cult. Like Ted Bundy. Was it Ted Bundy, the one that had the girls doing all the stuff for him?
I don't remember the name.
I can't remember. I could be wrong. I'm not one of those people that's obsessed with serial killers, but I remember him talking about that. And then also his alpha widow bullshit. You don't want me to make you an alpha widow. Made this motherfucker.
He would always mention that you would be fucked for life. Like,
yeah, please.
Alpha widow until she dies. Like, okay. I already had seen your Facebook where you had this other guy. So I was just like, she's fine, bro.
Literally good.
Look her up so we can stop talking about her.
And I think he was looking at me the whole fucking time because I was the only fucking chick that left him. Yeah. At least that's what he told me. You were the only bitch that has ever walked away from me, And I think, again, it's just because I'm old. He was generally attracted to. And he would weaponize that against me too. How you said he would like weaponize women. So I remember getting dressed up one time. Again, full fucking hair and makeup in the middle of the night to go to bed. Okay, I got to get dressed up to go to bed. Right? And he's out there listening to this fucking podcast with these like alpha jackasses who are talking about sexual market value. And it's an unequivocal fact that like 22-year-old girls are like at the prime of their whatever the fuck. And I lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, do I need to go? What the fuck is this? Like, you're sitting here shitting on me while I'm trying to get this shit done. Oh, no, it's not what oh my God, are you triggered? Like, and then he gets all shitty with you when he did some shit that's straight fucked up. Like, good, y'all. That's like me sitting in the background, right? I'm doing my makeup, but I got Mandingo in the fucking corner while I'm watching porn. You know, these motherfuckers, I'm curling my hair for this nigga, but I'm watching somebody else and he's not supposed to feel anything. You got me fucked up. Like, you got me fucked up.
And that's called reactive abuse. He was doing that a lot and I called him out many times towards the end. I was just like, you are doing reactive abuse. I don't care if you're calmly telling me something. You're disrespecting me. So what comes from here, after you've said your calmly disrespectful thing, I'm going to go off. Like, that's called reactive abuse. And then when I go off, why are you talking to me like that? Like, I would never talk to you like that. I always come to you correct. Like, don't disrespect me like that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I swear to God, towards the end, I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, man, I am so tired of your shit, bro. Like, that's called reactive abuse. Look into it. You're doing reactive abuse a lot. Like, you're calmly disrespecting me. And then when I react, you want to like, like, no, I see you. So yeah, he was doing that a lot. And I seen how much he would enjoy your reactions. It was almost like a little kid watching a cartoon, like, oh shit, what is he going to do? Like, I swear, looking back on all the situations for everything, the reaction for everything, for the excitement, for love, like he lives off of reactions. I feel like it's just so many things. And so I started to see his eyes, like when I would talk about you posting on my TikToks, being mean, but it wasn't you. Like, I can see in his face, like, he was just like, oh yeah, what'd she say? Like, it's just like, he was so into it. And I'm just like, you son of a bitch.
Dick energy ever.
No, it was a tiny dick energy towards the end too. Like, it was terrible. I couldn't even get good sex for a year. So you didn't miss out on anything, girl. And now.
No, you saved me so much money. And when I got away from him, like, I do think he does tend to attract also women who are really, you know, have strong esoteric powers or psychic abilities and whatnot that aren't awake yet. You know what I mean? Possibly, and then once we become awake and we get him out of our lives, like, shit got magic for me once he, you know, like I was telling her, I'm excited for you. Like, shit's going to get really fucking cool for you.
I feel it.
And with us experiencing this such like negative energy, life is about polarities, right? So beauty has to be coming after that. Like, beauty has to be coming after that.
I believe that.
Why would we set ourselves up anyway?
Exactly.
Different, you know what I mean? Like,
no, like I mentioned to you, I was like, I was singing breakup songs like 2 months before he even left the house. And I was like dancing to them. Trina, I swear to God, my soul was like, he's about to leave. And we're just prepping ourselves, like, you know, just warming up the pot. Like, don't worry, girl, we got you. It's going to be in sections. We're not going to break your heart. And I am so grateful to them for that. Because I was so deep. Knowing all this information in one hit would have really fucked with me. It would have really, and even though it wouldn't have like brought me down too long, because I know who the fuck I am. I know who I am. And so even though it wouldn't have brought me down, like, I'm so grateful that it was given to me in one plate at a time. Like, all right, here's this one. Okay, process. All right, next. Swear to God, that's what it felt like. Just one appetizer at a time. Just like, okay, now process it. And if you hear my podcast, I'm talking about like, all right, so this is what I'm feeling. I need to process it. So I'm going to talk it out. And here it is. And I swear to God, after I do the podcast or after I talk to anybody about it, I feel so much better. And I'm like, okay. And that's why I started recording it, because I'm like, somebody needs it too. So let's do it. But yeah, like it was really nice the way it was delivered to me, because it was just kind.
If I would have found all that out at the end of that, I probably would have gotten extremely negative. I probably would have been like, luckily though, I've been loved, like for real, since I walked away from him, you know? And so I can have this level of devastation and realizing this bullshit, this whole thing was bullshit, but also have that, you know, gratitude for, you know, the other relationships that I have. And now even the guy that I'm seeing now, where I was giving him shit for having a job, like I low-key want to message him like, I'm so happy you're working, man. I respect you so much. I know I'm
keep doing what
you have a job, but I'm so happy that you're not asking me for gas money, or I don't have to buy your fucking groceries, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, and that's the thing too. Like he would be so mean to Marissa. Like if she was like running late because she was running and getting groceries for him and his shake and all this shit. And if she would be like, oh, I'm gonna be there an hour later, he's just like, never mind, don't come. Like, and I'm like,
you guys,
she's running you errands, bro. You can't get picky. Beggars can't be choosers. Like, you got to be respectful. Like, she's, oh my God. And I was telling him that. And so as I'm telling him, I'm thinking like, you are such a piece of shit. Like, and I think he forgets that. Like, we are women too. And this is why I want to like empower women. Like, stop. Don't be a Yesenia. If you've been reached out by a woman, like, you gotta hear it out a little bit more, especially if we're telling you we've known this man longer than you have. Like, we have to respect ourselves more. Like, we have to change that shit. Like, you know, like you said, like, not weaponizing, not using your, like, you to weaponize another woman. Like, no, that's our fucking species.
Here to hurt each other. That's not what we're supposed to be here to do. You know, there's plenty of people out here for all of us.
Yeah. Like, and just like you, she's someone's daughter. She's someone's mom. She's someone's sister. Like, come on. Like, I think we need to be better. We need to get better and like, not necessarily be like, you know, how do you say it? Like, feminist or like all like hardcore. Like, no, but like, just be better to each other, you know, and try to help each other out. That's all we can do, you know? And I feel like that was my biggest purpose. My biggest reason to do this is to get to women mostly because I understand. And I don't know men completely because that's not my species. Right. So I want to get to my people and, you know, my women and just remind them like, you're better than that. Like, don't settle for that. Don't put your boundaries up for a pretty boy.
For real. I feel so bad for contributing to that pathology in our society where I rewarded somebody and gave them things just because they were cute. I get so shitty with guys that do that. Like, if I'm talking to a guy and he's like, hey, you should let me take you out and show you off, I'll ghost his ass. Like, wait, what?
Show me
a fucking trophy. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, miss me with that. Take me hiking. Take me somewhere no one can find me.
Where I want to go.
Not super
what
safe,
makes me happy.
Yeah, like literally, just show me off. What the fuck? You know, and then here I am doing that and gassing this motherfucker up. And like, even in the end, you guys, I gave him this fake ass apology. Even in leaving him, I was still trying to coddle his fucking ego. Yeah. You know, I was still like,
I'm gonna let you out easy.
Yeah, pretty much like, like I was reading the emails. It was like, oh, you know, if you have to make me the bad person, if you have to hate me, fine. Like, I accept all of that. Like, just all this fucking bullshit. Like, the reality is I should have just not even responded. Like, that day I fucking left and got anything from him. Like, he didn't have to tell me the money was on the way, you know, whatever. I don't give a fuck. What the fuck are you in my inbox for? Like,
just try and get your attention.
Let me know. Yeah, literally. Just when PayPal it comes through, it's going to send me the email. Like, I don't need you to fucking email me, you know? But it was just like constant, like you said, he had to keep trying to dig into you, you know, to keep trying to dig into you. But once it got to the point where I saw he was trying to hurt me, anything he threw at me just meant nothing. You know, it was just like, it's just like a little kid just trying to throw shit at you. And you're just like, oh, poor little, oh God, where's his parents? Somebody get his parents.
You know that's where I was too. Towards the end, like the last year, I was just like, you don't offend me anymore. Like, he would always try to like make me feel bad for like my number or, you know, who I was with while we were on a break or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm good with it. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, you can process it however you want to, but I'm good with it now. Like, you're not going to make me feel shitty. Like, I'm okay with who I was, what I've done. I've forgiven myself, and that's all that matters. Like, I don't need you judging me and making me feel like shit. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. So yeah, like, that was huge for him. Like, just wanting to make you feel less of so that you can praise anything he does for you, or I don't know.
Yeah, so if another woman reaches out to you, I strongly suggest, like, I just wish that I would have met her. I wish I would have met you in person. I wish I would have taken the time to sit down with you, because and that's why it was so important to me to meet you in person this time, because I was like, fuck this. I don't want to do the email thing. She doesn't know me enough to know my tone, to know my energy. And I wanted you to know, you know, meaning like you did your own intuitive assessment as to what my energy was and where I was coming from. So, you know, within yourself, like what this is, you know, no one can tell you, well, I don't know, she could have meant it like that, or it could, you know, whatever. No. This is just, I'm just trying to help you out. You know what I mean? And
honestly, if I would have watched your TikToks, but I was forbidden to reach out or to look for you, and I see why now. Yeah. But if I would have watched your TikToks, I would have been like, oh fuck, I know this girl. Like, I know her. She's not dumb. Like how he appeared, you know, made you seem like to be. And it's like, oh, and that it makes sense why he's like, don't look at it. Don't look for her. We're gonna.
Don't fucking listen, ladies. If somebody tells you not to look at some shit,
Trust but verify.
Listen in the moment. And then as soon as you're away from this motherfucking ass, go look.
Yeah.
Go look. Yeah. And reach out, ask questions, get clarification. Because you never fucking know what kind of psycho that you're going to end up.
I felt like he can read me. He knew when I had a secret.
Thing. Yes, he did.
And I would tell my mom too, because like any little thing I would keep from him, he would be like, what is it? And I'm like, fuck.
Tell me.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, I didn't want to tell you because it's not a big deal, but blah, 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 blah. Well, why didn't you tell me? You should have told me first. Like, no, I can't trust you. Like, how am I supposed to? This is why I don't tell you shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can feel like he would always sense it. And I think it's because I believe I'm such a good person that it's heavy on me too. Yeah. My energy changes when I feel like I'm holding something from him or from somebody I love. And I told I was going to be like not faithful, but like honest about everything. So I get really like heavy energy when I feel that. So I think it was more that too, where he was just like, you're not normal. Like something's off. And it's like, yeah, because I feel shitty. Because that's how you're supposed to feel when you're keeping something from somebody. Right. And again, towards the end, he kept asking me, he's like, is there something you need to tell me? And I'm like, no, maybe you want to ask Marissa. I swear to God, I told him, I was like, you've been talking to Marissa. She's giving you money with nothing in exchange. I don't know. I would question her more. Yeah. You know, because supposedly he wasn't sleeping with her or anything. But now I see he probably did.
Yeah, she's probably expecting babies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Know, the whole...
Yeah, because the same thing he was telling you about me is what he was telling me about Marissa. That's just the homie. She just gives me money. She just loves the shit out of me, but she'll never expect anything from me.
I got guy friends, y'all. I don't give them money. Like my buddy Jordan, who's, house we're in right now, like, he's never asked me for money.
And,
like,
why wouldn't I think, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I did think that, but again, he gives you the story of she's been there since for a long, she's been there for many years.
She pulled a gun from my head.
When I heard you say that, I was like, oh my God. I helped him when he had his bad trip where he was like screaming, my life. Like I kind of like got in his ear and it was like, come back to me.
Yeah, he told me.
Like, I feel like that's how I saved him, but him having a gun, like, nah, he's fine. He wasn't doing all that. Like, yeah, he may have said it like, I don't want to play anymore, or I don't want to be here anymore. And I'm just like, no, sit down. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Because again, I felt like you teach me and I'm really going to learn. Yeah. I'm going to fly off with that information, especially if it's hitting. And for me, Dolores Cannon hit 100%. Yeah. She is what I needed to hear about because my religion didn't give me that peace. So yeah, like I was like, no, that's not, remember what you said? Remember what you were teaching me? Like, right. Hello? Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I was surpassing him for sure. She's handling it. She's so sweet. I love her. I actually had posted a video on a different account because I didn't want my son and like my regular followers to see my sad self because I'm trying to keep my page positive and, and inspiring and motivating and things like that. So I have another page where I was putting sounds that I can use and maybe put my videos where I don't want people to see. So I had posted a video of my moment of like crying in fetal position, like had enough because everything was happening. I had reached out to my brothers. They didn't respond. I've been trying to work on a relationship with my daughter and she was fighting me back and it was causing more problems. And then Preston leaves a day before my birthday and without saying a word. And here I am trying to process everything. And so I got to the point where I was just like, what am I here for? Like if my family's not wanting to listen and I seem to feel like the bad guy because people are leaving my life and not wanting to come back into my life, even my own blood. So yeah, it was just a very low moment in my life where I shared online and she happened to comment and and just kind of help me through it and I became friends with her and she was like so awesome because I was just so confused because I was like, but we were bonding so much in Montana, bro. Like we were doing so many cool things. Like, I don't know if you watched the music video of Sleeping on the Floor. Well, it felt like we had pretty much done the whole video. And it was like to me, it was like such a romantic video. And she called out like, yeah, but she imagined it all. At the end of the video, she woke up from her fucking dream. And I'm like,
jeez, that just gave me chills. Like
when she said that, Trina, I was like, oh my God. Like I was holding on to that so hard and I didn't even realize like she had imagined it all. And that's what it felt like because this man didn't even like to take too many pictures.
I know.
And he didn't like me to post it and don't post my face and don't do this. So I had just a handful of pictures and like the ones that we took professionally and stuff like that. But like, I didn't take too many pictures. Like all the videos I had were of him mostly. It wasn't us together. And do you think he took pictures of me? When there was a Kodak moment and I called him out on that too. And he lost his shit. Like he screamed, like did this crazy, like, whoa, like crazy when I called him out on like, you don't even take pictures of me.
Wow.
I was like, there's moments where I feel very beautiful and like we're in a beautiful scene in a nice place and you never pull your phone out to take a picture of me. And I was like, why don't you ever? And he's like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Look. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I don't ask you to take one.
Right.
I'm asking like, you love me so much that you're like, oh my God, she looks beautiful. Because that's what I was doing for him all the time. Everywhere we went. I'm like, oh, damn, that's a good picture. Boom. And then to know that he's sending these pictures on Tinder and giving them to other girls, like the pictures I'm taking of him.
I think he sent me a bunch of pictures that you took him when he was pretending to be you. Because all those pictures he couldn't have taken himself. No. You know, him sitting on the floor writing in the book that I got him. Him taking off his shirt and then just his torso exposed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he sent me that, acting like it was you the whole time, you know, and he was
trying to get you back. He's
literally, and he was like, you should send me some pictures of, he was like, you should send me some pictures of what you've been doing. And as things calm down, he basically acted like you were going to re-ingratiate us, that I just needed to give him some time. And I'm sitting there like, this bitch is not listening, because I'm trying to make it like I'm communicating with you, but I'm not saying that I want to be in his life, you know, but you keep trying to, but her, right, keeps trying to like, just, oh no, I'm a peacemaker and I'm going to like,
I'm just his best friend and he loves you, girl.
Literally, he wrote best friends ever. I'm like, this fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. And when I saw a portion of it, if you would have forwarded me all the emails,
I didn't even know too. And you know what's fucked up? I had forwarded you a bunch of emails from him, but it wasn't to you. It was to the fake thing.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, look at what he's sending me. This is what I sent you readings. I was like, listen to what they told me. Like, I'm not in this. Like, I don't want to fucking be with him. Our contract is done. Like, and I wanted you to know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, and the one that you did send me to the first email, where you remember I emailed you and I said, hey, you were just a lesson. Go with a good heart. Like, move on. Blah, blah, blah.
Good luck. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so from that email,
that was the only one that was real, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was me. And so you had forwarded a portion of the other emails.
Mm-hmm.
And what I read, I was completely disgusted. And if I would have read everything else that he was trying to pretty much get you back in a way, I would have left.
Yeah.
And I would have been able to probably save my job, keep the cabin because he had no way to pay it. And I would have just told him to get the fuck out because he was supposedly going to leave. And I would have just done better. But I didn't see all that because I told him, I was like, I just feel really violated. I was like, I don't even talk like that. I feel grossed out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, poor Pressy.
You really, yes, poor P. My tummy aches for him.
God.
He wrote, my tummy aches.
When I read that, my tummy aches, I was like, I don't even fucking talk like that. I'm such a tomboy.
Yeah.
I'm such a not a lady when I talk. Obviously, you can tell. Like, my tummy. I hate people like that. Like, I felt so gross. I was like, oh, bro, like, that's not what
I was like, this poor woman. Like, I was sitting there and I'm like, dang, she really loves him and she's willing to go through all this. She's putting down her feelings and pretending like this doesn't break her heart to have to message me all this. You know, I'm thinking, oh my God. And it was him. And now when I reread it, I'm like, oh, that was him, because there was little nasty jabs in there. But I thought maybe that was your feelings coming out because you were just pretending to want to make us be friends, but you really just wanted me to fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, and it just.
I really believe that he was my twin flame and you were just part of the contract because you taught him something. I really felt like you had taught him something. And so I just felt like, okay, well, no, it's my turn. Go on. Like, now it's my turn, but it's like, no.
Yeah, we're not teaching him anything. He's not learning anything.
He's not taking
he doesn't practice anything that he preaches.
Nope.
It is 100% framework for which he can control you. It is not about being a genuine good person. When you're talking about the way he'd be like, oh, I go money on my checklist and I review everything and make sure I'm a good dude to everybody. I'm like, One time he accidentally said you when he was talking about making sure I'm good to you. And he totally, and I'm just like, this nasty motherfucker. Like, you guys, I mean, if you're gonna stay, just keep a hold of your shit. Don't stop talking to other people.
Or don't stop doing what you love.
Don't stop doing anything for this person. Mm-hmm. Like, if you just want to, like, oh, he's so beautiful though, I can't walk away, I just want to have sex, just fuck him. Don't commit.
He's a toy.
No committing.
At that point, he's a toy. Have fun with your toy, girl.
Literally. Like, don't expect any long-term anything. Don't expect any return on your investment besides hard dick and bubble gum.
Yeah, not even anymore. I don't know how it's going now, but for the last year, there was no hard dick, no bubble gum.
There. So,
no.
And I heard he was skinny too, which I can't even
imagine. I swear to God, I felt like I was hugging a girl at the end. I'm like, damn, dude, get some muscles again. Like, I feel like a lesbian right now. I swear to God. I almost reached up for the titties. Like, oh shit, it's not. This is a man. This is a really small man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I thought maybe because he's going to be a guru, he's going to have to look like more just not
Gandhi.
So, you know,
Yeah.
like I swear I was like, maybe that's where he's going because it doesn't look the same. But
yeah, another lesson, strength doesn't mean strength.
No.
Big muscles does not mean strong man.
No.
You know, big muscles, degree does not mean they're about shit, does not mean that they have anything, no fucking money, you know, like nothing. Like, man, you really got to take everything with a grain of fucking salt and really play the long game and see and just trust your intuition.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't need to know all this. I should have just left that shit alone. Yeah. I should have just left that shit alone. Really, after he made me leave, after, you know, I was asleep. That was such a big rip. I was really upset about that.
I can't believe
like,
that.
What kind of human does that?
At 1 a.m. from the mountain
like,
too?
From the fucking mountain. Like, I swear to God, I almost passed out so many times. And, yeah, big red flag.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like I said too, like I had some flags and I had some moments where I saw it, and he would convince me because I did talk to him about it. I was like, I need to talk to you. Like, this is really heavy on me. And he's just a good doc. He's such a good talker.
Really
I hate him for that.
He's
such a good talker. And then he does his little eyes and he's like, you know, I'm so understanding and I can see in your soul. Like, you want to see this? But yeah, like looking back at him, I'm like, you're a joke. I was more of a man the whole time than you were. Yeah. And that's why I treated him like a toy in the beginning. I was seeing other people. Like, sure, you're the only one. Okay.
Literally, me too. Like okay.
I have needs, bruh. And you're not taking care of them all the time. So while you're playing your games, I'm playing my games. Like, we can both play. It's okay. But yeah, he's so selfish and just insecure about a lot of things. That's what it felt like. It felt like it was just a bad, long dream, especially when there's not a lot of pictures and stuff to back it up. It's like, that's all I got. If you notice on my TikToks, they're all the same pictures because I don't have any. And I felt he made me feel uncomfortable to want to like always take pictures too. Like, I don't know, it didn't feel right. And maybe it was a reason. Like, don't even hold on to those memories. Like, just take it all in here. Watch it.
Yeah, so I actually was going through one of my drives today trying to see, because I had actually, when we had broken up, I had put everything in a drive. Actually, maybe it's on a hard drive. I thought I put everything in the cloud because I had some pictures at his grandfather's grave, and I had some pictures with the kids. I was like, I just didn't feel right getting rid of it. I'm like, what if some point it comes back and, you know, not to be together, but just here's your shit. Pictures, you know what I'm saying? But today I was looking for it and I'm like, fuck, it's gone. Like, I don't see it. And then I remembered at some point I gave him access to all of my accounts, all my passwords to, you know, my Ring camera, my fucking Google Voice thing. Like, after I cheated on him and we were reestablishing trust, like, I made a spreadsheet and gave him all my shit. And I was like, what? Most of my passwords are like really easy. And I'm like, fuck, what if he like went in there to delete the thing so that there was no receipts? But maybe it's just on the hard drive and I'm being a drama queen. You know, it could be, because I would hope that he wouldn't, you know, go through all that.
Yeah, same. I have a lot of pictures of the kids and I was thinking I need to send them to his mom or his sister so they can save them.
And then the day you and I hung out, I come home, so I'm on Snapchat and I mostly talk to Jasmine, my daughter. And it did one of those flashback things and it was showing us me and him in the gym. I'm like, fucking, oh my God.
I hate those flashbacks.
I do too. Like, I paid for that gym membership. I remember we get in there and he's like, yeah, I'm a cannabis farmer. He's like talking to the girl and I'm just sitting there like low-key proud that I got a dude that's about something, and he wasn't about shit. No. He was not about shit.
You know what? It was so draining because he had like 5 different business plans and he couldn't just like take it slow and like just take the steps and like keep moving and doing something for it. No, he had to like plan everything out. So he would spend days and days and days making like the business plan and like buying all the right tools. And so he spends so much money getting all the stuff to make the cannabis farm or whatever, but didn't end up using it. But he bought all the lights and he got everything. It has to be exactly the same and like the right part. Like, he goes above and beyond to get everything set up and then he just drops it next. Like, oh no, never mind.
Yeah, no,
like he's done that with everything. Yeah, like when he was building in Montana, he bought all the tools. He had to buy all the right tools and all the right, you know, little everything had to be perfect. For what? For him to do a bench and then be done with it because it wasn't his thing. Like, oh my God, it was so frustrating. It's like, wow, you spend so much money on the planning and trying to get the perfect things and you don't even follow through. So it's like just wasting my time
and money and energy.
Yeah.
How much is there anything else? We are at like an hour and 13 minutes. And yesterday my camera died at an hour and 30 minutes.
And my phone is about to die in a little bit. So check the podcast out if it dies.
Yeah. Really, really, really check the podcast, especially if you're engaged with this dude. Just listen, just hear us out, and then use your intuition. You know?
If you have one,
you know, I mean, you have one, but I mean, I know what it's like to ignore it. My whole podcast is about me ignoring it.
I mean,
so
I'm just so upset with this girl, man. I'm just so
$15,000 though. How do you hand over that much money?
Well, it was in chunks. First, it was $7,000 straight off the bat, and then it was like paying for his hotel for a whole month or 2 months, and then I'm sure he went back to the hotel. And by his hotel,
it was was he staying with you at that time?
When he was in the hotel?
Yeah.
I was coming over like every day. And then like there was a time I stayed for a whole week. And then he acted so weird when Marissa came. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, if I talk to Marissa, I'm going to tell her. I was like, you saw him downstairs, right? And he acted totally weird, right? Yeah, I was there too. Did you know I was there? And so that's why I'm like, if there's information, like, come on. Like, I'm just so disappointed because if I would have had the information I provided for this girl.
Yeah.
And she's still like trying to tell me that she's going to take me to court and give me a restraining order. And I know it's him.
I was going to say,
I know it's him.
Yeah.
But you're letting him do the same thing and you're watching it. So I hope you're really watching him. Like, don't play stupid and, see the reality of it. But it's like, he said he was in Montana by himself. I showed you videos that we were both in Montana living in the Jeep. Like, what more do you want? Like, he's not genuine. And you have kids. You have him around your kids.
That is one of my biggest regrets, dude. I'm in addition to my children. Oh my God, my mother. He was going to meet my grandmother before she died, but she didn't. He didn't. Yeah,
he drove to Texas in my Jeep to go meet my brothers.
He met my brothers in fucking Arizona.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve that access to me. Oh my God.
Yep. That's how I feel. Like my son grew his hair out because he wanted to look like Preston.
Yeah.
And when I broke up the first time with him, my son cried so much. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? But I didn't know. I thought if my son is so connected to him or like loves him so much and he doesn't even really know him, I thought maybe because I thought my son has gifts too. Yeah. So I figured he sees him. And then also I got a cat towards the end and the cat would not sleep on my lap. And he went straight to Preston and slept on his lap. So I was like, I'm confused. Swear to God. I even told my daughter, I was like, I'm confused though, because Atlas likes him. Like, I thought the cat would like, I don't like you. But he's just that good. I think he's just that good. He knows how to carry himself and how to keep his energy in a certain place, I think. I don't know. But I hope this helps somebody.
I do too. Listen to the other woman. Have a meeting. Have a conversation. Trust yourself. Love yourself.
Love yourself. That's key.
And what that looks like to me is listening to my fucking intuition.
Yes.
It was just saying, I don't deserve this. I don't like this. Oh, wait, you want a 22-year-old? Well, shit, let me get my stuff.
I'm far from that.
Go.
So exactly.
Yeah, like, why am I here? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that was a lack of love for myself. Like, that was self-abandonment.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Same here. I did the same thing. And also boundaries. Like, I had certain boundaries where I was like, I'm not going to do this again. But it was him. So I was just like, oh, okay. What boundaries?
Right. Yes. And then, I used to love that about the relationship. I'd be like, there are no limits with us. We're just like open. And no, there are no limits for him. Bitch, you're limited. Yeah. You're fucking limited. Yes. You're in a box.
Yes.
Like, yeah. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, love yourself. And let's stop perpetuating these pretty people and rewarding bad behavior because that's how we're contributing to this, whole toxic energy. If we don't empower it, it can't exist. It can't continue to thrive, So I'm going to do my part in that, which is by talking about it and showing up for myself in my own life. And
that's all we can do.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been so lovely meeting Neyda. So I'm going to be honest with you. After I hung out with you, I was like, I opened up my fucking Snapchat, typed in this thing, and I just wanted to write, thank you so much for Neyda. Like, thank you so much. By the way, you guys, she took fucking stitches out of my arm. This woman had a needle and fucking scissors, and she didn't stab me. She carefully removed stitches from my fucking arm. This is a good human, and I really wanted, but I just refused to give him any of my fucking energy, not even a fuck you. You don't this conversation that we're having here is going to be the last time I'm going to engage in this.
Yeah.
Outside of anything, if anyone wants to reach out and talk about healing or ways that you can get through this or just talk about going through it, because it feels awful. It feels like, You've been raped.
Yeah.
And that seems like such a flippant thing to say because rape is such a violent thing, but that's what this was. This was an emotional act of violence. This was like robbery, you know, of something that was like so pure and something that was so real from someone who don't give a fuck, you know? So if you need support in any of that, Neyda or myself, like feel free to reach out. So
yeah, but like you, I want to put this behind me and I want to just keep growing in where I love to do what I love to do, you know, and I don't love to be, you know, any kind of negative or, you know, and even though like this isn't negative, but to me, it's just not the energy I want to be in, you know? And so I'm definitely going to be done after this processing it and ready to answer any questions and help anybody else in need.
Yep. And if there's any other ladies out there that are, you know, need any more information from us, again, feel free to reach out. If you're in this guy's life and, you know, you need more proof, you want to see some receipts, let us know. We have what, you know, what you could potentially need. And,
but just please don't reach out and then just turn around and be like, oh, okay, never mind. Fuck you.
Yeah, don't show him. Like if you're gonna reach out and then be like, "Oh, I'm gonna give the phone to him,"
he's
like,
that good.
Like, don't
he's
be
gonna
dumbass.
convince you.
He really is. Like he's ready for that.
Like
so.
if you're gonna reach out to us, be ready to like accept the information because we're not wasting our time here. Like, I'm not trying to make a good man look bad.
For real,
like that is not what we do here. Mm-hmm. We're all about loving and empowering people, not just women. People, like just making sure you know you are powerful, you have control, you can make a decision, you can change, and of course, you can learn to love yourself first.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining me.
Of course. No, thank you for this. Like, I think it's just super healing for both of us. And I really love it. And like you, I got home and I was just like, I really want to make a TikTok where it's like, did you just find your best friend? Yup. Or did we just become...
That's what we're about to do. We're about to make
because it's like, we have so much in common where it's like, you know what? In a way, the only thing I can thank him for is that. Yeah. Is that he found two cool girls and was like, eventually we were going to hang out or something. Mm-hmm. But I can say I'm grateful for that. Yeah. Because you're super cool.
I love you.
I love you too.
All right, guys.
Don't forget to follow our pages, all of our platforms, because I post different things in different places. So it's best if you follow me everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and I don't know what other platforms you have.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on TikTok, Tangents with Trina, and then I have an IG that I don't really use a lot, but also Tangents with Trina. And then just my adventure stuff is on I am Trina 888 for Instagram. And then I have a YouTube channel in Intentional Tangents with Trina. Why do I create these tongue twisting things? You know, all my businesses start with an I. It's always an I. Mm-hmm. Intimate this, intimate that, fucking intentional this. Like even my I have a website for psychic readings and, you know, intuitive readings and inner child healing also. And that's intuitivelytrina.com. It's always with
it starts with I.
Right? All right, guys. Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.